as a faculty, we have since 1962 been responsible for training veterinary surgeons. Initially under the University of East Africa, based at Makerere University, and then since the collapse of the East African community in 1970, we have been offering this degree at Kabete campus. Each year we release qualified veterinarians to come into the workforce, responsible for food production, responsible for animal disease management, as well as food safety and aspects of animal resource management. So in terms of this particular day, you know, rabies is quite an issue globally and more specifically in this country. And the use of vaccines is one of the most effective methods for management of rabies. And it is the veterinarian who is mandated to take care of this disease by not only administering the vaccine, but issuing the certification for the same. So really for the faculty, this is an important day in actualizing the fruit of training of the veterinary workforce in the management of rabies, which is a global issue and a national issue, as it were. The advice I would give for the students is that they make sure that they perfect the sciences, and in particular biology. They must be very good in biology. They need to be very good in chemistry. They need to be very good in either physics, mathematics, or agriculture. If you want to get into the veterinary program, you must meet the minimum qualifications of at least a C+ in the KCSE qualifications, and at least a C+ in biology, a C+ in chemistry, and a C+ in either mathematics, or physics or agriculture. In the event you are not successful at this stream of admission, because it's very competitive, and you end up with a C plane, it is possible for you to still access this course by taking a diploma in animal health, a diploma in wildlife, and such related disciplines. And then you'll be quite able to take this course. If you also are a mature student and took the A-level programs, you can also access the BVM program. If you have a bachelor's degree in any of the science disciplines, again, it is possible for you to take this course. The most important role of the veterinary doctor in society is to take responsibility in the production, breeding, production, and management of livestock, an animal resource in the entire spectrum, right from fish that are living underwater to the terrestrial animals that are food animals such as cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and so on, to take care of companion animals such as dogs and cats, and the entire spectrum of the wildlife species that are available and which are important in the wildlife sector and tourism industry. The other responsibility is on food safety. All meat that is consumed must be inspected by a veterinarian because that is their primary responsibility. The other responsibility of the veterinary surgeon is disease control, so that all animal diseases that affect not just animals but human beings are the responsibility and domain of the veterinary surgeon. Obviously, there are other aspects of governance in terms of leadership and control of transboundary animal diseases, food safety and quality assurance, which are the responsibility of the veterinarian. There are other managemental aspects of the industry for which the veterinarian is well schooled, and so we now have banks that are issuing credit. We have insurance companies that are issuing products for this kind of livestock industry. They must get veterinary assurance, and it is the doctor who is responsible for offering this kind of services. And then, of course, research that involves animals is the domain of the veterinarian. They supervise also the other cadre of animal health service providers because that is what the law mandates them to do. Currently, the trend is we've seen an upsurge in the interests as well as the enrollment of veterinary undergraduate degree students. As we speak, we have over 130 first years who have registered and are commencing training. This week, we've started training them on the use of ICT devices and methods for learning. And then on the 4th of October, they start their first year training. We have 120 second year veterinary students. We have 150 third years. We have 120 fourth years and 100 fifth years coming into the program in October. This is a demonstration of the renewed interest of our Kenyans, and indeed we have foreign students coming in from Ethiopia, Eritrea, and the rest of Africa, demonstrating the value of this course. This course has been identified as one of the flagship programs by the government of Kenya, in addition to the BSc Wildlife Management and Conservation. So that is a clear demonstration that we are well positioned as one of the oldest faculties in Africa, and indeed in Kenya, to offer this course. One of the things that we have as a resource is a highly qualified and very experienced faculty. As I speak right now, we have over 23 professors in the faculty, and if you include the number of staff that have hold PhD, you're talking about 50 faculty that are holding a PhD, and this is really the qualifications that you require to train students in the various disciplines. When they come to the first year of study, we have professors who are going to train them on aspects of anatomy and physiology, aspects of biochemistry, and the other cross-cutting disciplines. When they advance to the second year of study, we have production-related disciplines, and again we have qualified staff to do that. So right up to the clinics, we have expertise. We have state-of-the-art laboratories. We also have the veterinary teaching farm up at Kanyariri, as well as the veterinary teaching hospital, which offers other aspects of diagnostics, such as laboratory diagnosis. We also do have a digital X-ray machine. We have an ultrasound machine, and surgical theaters, at least for purposes of operating on small animals. So we also offer referral support services to our practicing veterinarians in the environments of Nairobi County, as well as offering additional support to support research in aspects of fish, to support research in aspects of animal health, and all those aspects of One Health as an approach, as well as animal welfare. This really speaks to the quality of our academic staff. Unlike in the past, when their destination for recruitment and deployment was the government, one of the first things that happens is they are immediately placed on a 1-year, a 12-month internship program, fully funded by the government. This gives them on their day one veterinary competencies quite a bit, because they are placed under qualified and accredited institutions, as well as professionals who mentor them on the day-to-day operational aspects of veterinary practice. After 1 year, they have the opportunity to go into private practice. They could go into employment at the national government facilities. They could be deployed to work into the veterinary investigational laboratories. They could be deployed into the county veterinary department, or they could really diversify into different managerial and entrepreneurial domains of society. There is a good number that also get absorbed through the postgraduate training, and they come up and they are trained to be researchers and future professors, which is offered now within our faculty. And all that really goes to speak to the need for our veterinarians to really just know that they are valued. We have a good number, about 15 of them, actually, in the Kenya Wildlife Service. So these are veterinarians who respond to animals, wildlife that have been injured, wildlife that need to be translocated from one sanctuary to another, or one conservancy into another. These are veterinarians who do that. We do now have veterinarians in the military. You'll be interested to know quite a number of them who actually, diversify and go into the security sector. We do have a number in the police service, also doing a good job. But then you also have another group that actually doesn't necessarily take up the profession, but they still remain relevant in society, having been educated and trained in this discipline. So the prospects are quite good. There are a number that actually go abroad and they excel. There is a reputation that any veterinarian who graduates from the University of Nairobi, when they go to the other facilities abroad, they do excel. And they do get registered and accredited to practice outside Kenya, in the UK, Australia, the US. And they pass the board examination. So this really is credit to what the faculty is doing to train high quality veterinarians. The military actually is known for a number of things, one of which is discipline. For there to be outputs in terms of training a military officer, there is a need to emphasize on the aspects of discipline. The military has also informed aspects of strategy. If you hear about, in fact, the definition of strategy has to do with the military, has a military background, as it were. So in the training of our veterinary doctors, for you to succeed, one has to follow through with the aspects of instructions on, because the terminologies that define the anatomic structures are well established. You cannot debate them. You either know the stuff or you don't. The discipline of attendance of class is such that if you miss a certain percentage of class content, you will not be able to catch up. And so you're building the foundation of the knowledge of the foundational elements of the veterinary program and relating what you learned in first year with what you're applying in the final year. When it comes to the clinical disciplines, you are not going to be very effective if you do not follow the protocols for diagnostic approach. So you start off with the history, you go through to the physical examination, so it's very systematic. Just like the military, therefore, once you have formed a diagnosis, you then need to go back and have a conversation with the owners on the options available for treatment. So all our students who follow through with this, they succeed. And as long as that is done, the rest of it then they pick up through experiential learning. We also do offer them opportunity to be attached during the course of their training to industry. And so they are linked and connected as they go along their training. So we are very happy with that. Veterinary surgeons undergo training for a period of 5 years minimum, after which they proceed to a 12-month internship program. The rigor with which they are trained is such that they really form the team leadership of the veterinary team. The veterinary paraprofessional would either be a holder of the certificate, the 2-year certificate in animal health, or the 3-year certificate training in diploma in animal health, or the BSc in animal health and production. There is a scope within which they ought to operate, and every time the veterinary paraprofessional operates, there are certain aspects of the practice that they will do independently, but beyond which threshold they need to refer and be supervised in their operations. But otherwise they form a team of the animal health intervention in the society. The door that this course has opened for me is really in the aspects of academia, where I have been able to serve as up through the ranks to the position of associate professor. The other opportunity that this training has offered me is to serve in corporate, livestock-related corporate bodies. I have served as a director of the Kenya Dairy Board for 3 years between 2006 and 2009. It has also opened doors for me to participate in elective processes. I have campaigned and been elected successfully for appointment as a director of the Kenya Veterinary Board for 2 terms, each of 3 years. Thereafter, I have served as in the leadership of the university as a chairman of department for 3 years. And then recently, I also campaigned for election and succeeded in being elected as Dean of Faculty. So it would not have been possible for me to be Dean of Faculty if I had not undertaken training in the veterinary profession. And so I'm quite happy to be part of this process and to be part of this veterinary education structure. Because during the work of the Kenya Veterinary Board, I have been able to participate and indeed actually leading in the accreditation. First of all, the development of standards and tools for curricula for animal health training. Veterinary education is one of the most important flagship programs for this country, and the University of Nairobi is at the forefront in offering high-quality veterinary education for all Kenyans and all qualified international students who wish to train at the University of Nairobi. I say you're welcome, and we're happy to receive you so that you can start your course on the 4th of October in earnest, and we assure you that you'll be successful. Thank you very much.